Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is TJAZZ of TJAZZART&COMICS, and this is Thursday night news. And let me tell you, I've been having such a great week, filled mostly with excitement, as well as some interesting stuff that's coming out, such as what we are looking at here. Now, I don't know why this didn't pop up on people's timelines last year, but I did see this. I believe it was yesterday or Tuesday, I'm not entirely sure. But basically, they are reintroducing this bill called H.R. 4678, or Restoring Artistic Protection Act of 2025. And it was created last year, and it was introduced by Senator Hank Johnson of Georgia, and the supporters may shock you as we take a look here. AOC of New York, and Friedrich Wilson, as well as Benny Thompson, all Democrats. And I took a look at this bill, and basically, Spark Notes, it would not use any artistic facts to be prosecuted or inadmissible in court. So basically, he wouldn't be able to submit art as evidence. Say you created a adult-like song and then such adult-like thing happened, but if it happened prior and if it was just an expression, as it says here, and not an own thought or statement, then it's inadmissible in court. But I find this interesting as well as great, so you won't be prosecuted for having freedom of expression. So on paper, this sounds really great, which it is, do not get me wrong. But when it comes to evidence, I find it and funny that this bill gets reintroduced, just as this rapper right here, if you're not aware, this is David, and he, last year, shockingly I know, was not a suspect of this teen girl that he allegedly was with, whose unfortunately her body was found in one of the Tesla cars last September. He was not a suspect. Well, last week he was finally charged with this minor's murder, which to me, I'm not shocked, because if you looked up this video, there's tons of YouTube videos, and this broke out last year, so this is how I was aware of this case. Somehow, this girl was not tracked for a year. So after 2023, she was a runaway. So she ran away in 2023, and then for a full year of 2024 to 2025, when she was found, there's no trail. There was no text messages for the prosecutors to follow or to find, or detectives, etc. So that must have been awful for the detectives to rebuild, and that's why last year he was not a suspect at that time, but now he is. And if you're well aware of his music, he makes very dark music, if you catch my drift. And I'm not talking about your stereotypical paganism and all that. I'm talking about murder right here. He makes songs about murder. Now, that is not a crime if it's under freedom of expression. However, kind of looks a little fishy that you make songs about it and then it turns out to be true. So this might be one of these exemptions that they mentioned in the bill. I don't exactly know, and it's not into law yet. So we're just gonna have to see what happens in this case and how this bill is going to affect it. Now, let's go on to some fantastic news, if this will. Oh, there we go. Provided to you by the wonderful geeks and gamers. So if you have not heard, yesterday it was officially announced that the Rippaverse expands its global reach through distribution with deal with Hatchet I believe that's how you say it. Hatchet Book Group. And they are one of the big publishers. And I know people are gonna say, well, TJAZ, didn't he not want to go through like big publishers or sign contracts? Yes. However, obviously to me, Eric chose this to make this deal, and I also want to be very clear. This does not mean him going public. Because when you go public, companies like this, or when you sign with Netflix, Hulu, whoever, you give up most of your artistic rights, but they'll give you hush money, basically. It's legal hush money. So that's why you're never going to see the Rippaverse on Netflix. I'm sorry to say Netflix a lot, but you get the point. You're never going to see the Rippaverse on streaming services, except for a few. Like, maybe I could see them, with Angel Studios, since, as you guys know, through Rip Ascend, they are publishing Gabriel in the Guardians, which is an Angel Studios property. So I could see them doing that. But anyway, let's get right into it. The Rippaverse independent comic book and graphic novel publisher founded by Eric D. July has taken a major leap forward with new global distribution deal through Hatchet Group. Beginning July 6, 2026, Hatchet will handle retail and wholesale distribution, placing Rippaverse titles into bookstores, libraries, comic shops, and major retail outlets across the globe. It's not just growth, it's access to infrastructure most independent publishers never get. So, that's a huge deal. So, as of next summer, you're probably going to see titles that I already have at Barnes & Noble. And don't forget, if you remember a few episodes back, Kamman America is also going to get distributed through Udon. So guys, this whole thing tells me that they're looking for new creatives. Let's keep going. If you followed the Rippaverse from the beginning, you already know the biggest question. Does this change made it work in the first place? It doesn't. Rippaverse.com will continue operating exactly as it is, meaning fans can still purchase directly from the publisher through the website. The new deal simply adds additional channels, expanding its reach without replacing the foundation. That's a rare move in publishing. Most companies take this step end up handling over control. Rippaverse is trying to do the opposite, expand while staying independent, and that's the whole point. That's the whole point right there. There we go. My mouse doesn't want to work. That's the whole point, guys, is staying independent. So that means nothing is going to change. Hatchet is not buying all the rights, and therefore they can't change anything. All right? So that means you're not going to get, for example, any politics on either side. So basically, you're not going to get woke stuff, but you're not going to get conservatard stuff. You're just going to get the comic in its original form while still staying independent. Okay? Because Eric is and the Rippaverse, private company. And it's going to stay private for a long time. And what this program is basically doing, what this deal, not program, excuse me, is it's basically going to get into major book chain stores. So Barnes & Noble is an excellent example. Library systems. So hopefully you're going to see this at a university, as well as public libraries. So wouldn't that be nice to see that for your kids instead of the garbage that we see in libraries? Isn't it wonderful? You're going to see it in your mom and pop comic book stores, big box retail, so Walmarts, and then eventually international markets. Now, international markets are going to take overnight because, as Eric said in his video, that stuff getting translated takes a while. If you have not seen that video, go check it out on the Rippaverse channel on YouTube. All right. So for my Japanese followers, you're gonna have to wait a while for these books to get translated, and I hope you guys enjoy it because, guys, I've been a Rippaverse fan from day one, and when I say it's a refresher, it's a refresher. This is what we need in Western comics. And of course, if you had not seen me post, wait for it to load, there we go. You've probably seen me post this all week, and I've had a big smile on my face. You can go check out my reaction that I posted this Monday. But Kagurbachi, the rumors, the leaks, and everything is true, ladies and gentlemen. My Bachi bros, we are singing this week because Kagurbachi got officially announced. Pick, formerly known as Psy Games Pictures, will be the official animation studios that will bring this manga to life. And guys, look at this. So this was what I saved, right? And now we have the most top 10 liked anime announcements ever. So as a JoJo fan, no surprise here. Steel Ball Run was at number 1 and was trending number 1 when this got announced last year with 1.1 million. Number 2, Chainsaw Man, 620k. Stone Ocean, 580k. And then number 4, Kagurbachi, creeping up right behind Stone Ocean, 540k. Gear for 5 reveal, 510k, and Bleach at 460k. Holy, my friends. Holy, my friends. This is a huge deal. Brand new spanking IP, okay? Not a familiar title, okay? Oh, sorry, that was my bad. My bad. And, I've just been so excited. Look at these posts. Kagurbachi Brazil is probably freaking out as well, but guys, this is crazy. This is crazy. Number 7 was Solo Leveling as well. I forgot the rest of these 10s, my bad. So let's say the rest of these 10s. Solo Leveling, 410k. AOT Final Season Part 2, 390k. Oshiko no, 370k, and Demon Slayer Infinity Castle at number 10 at 350k. So the fact that Kagurbachi just swooped up into top 5 territory with these titles, okay? And this one shouldn't even belong in this list, but you get the point. Oh, this right here is gonna change anime forever. I'm telling you guys, I don't mean, as they say, to glaze over shit, but I'm telling you, this is going to be huge. This is going to be huge. And you know what? I'm all for it. Now, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, please hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let me know in the comments. Are you excited to see the Rippaverse at your major local bookstores? Or are you more excited that finally Kagurbachi is getting the anime it deserves? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Now go be rebels and create.